keep talking and turn that slider up, then it should start going through, I think. What if I turn that one all the way up? Oh, it's because there's a lag. Keep talking and turn that slider up. Yeah, okay. Then it should
Let's go.
All right. We
Yeehaw.
are live. I don't know how everything is coming through right now, so I sure hope it's good. Uh, Perhaps my sister will text me about it. But hello, everybody. My name is Nick, and welcome to Kaiju and Cowboys, a charity stream to benefit the Entertainment Community Fund, because we support strikes out here. We're going to be playing a game of lasers and feelings, and let's go ahead and introduce everybody. So I am Nick, and my pronouns are he, him.
Hey, everybody. My name is VJ. My pronouns are they, them, and he, him. Use them interchangeably.
Pronouns are she, her.
I'm Jake, and my pronouns are he, him.
I'm Ryan, and my pronouns are he, him.
All right. So in the there is a link to Tiltify for. Hang on. Yep, this is what I thought was going to happen. There we go. There is a link to Tiltify for donating to the Entertainment Community Fund. Um, I think actually I don't have that link ready to go right in the video description, unfortunately. But
I can throw it in the chat
if you could throw it in the chat, I'd appreciate that, Jake. I forgot there's a chat. Yeah, so yeah, we're donating money to the Entertainment Community Fund to help support the strike because they need direct cash funds in order to keep themselves in their homes. And I've got a couple milestones here. Just trying to raise at least $100 for this little stream. If we can get to 15, or if we can get to $25 and then $50 and then $100, which is nuts. There's going to be some exciting random events that happen during this game. So if you've got the capacity and are willing, we would appreciate it if you threw some money towards that fund. I had been looking for a way to support the strike because I feel like we're just something big is happening, just in this country in general, and so this is what I figured I could handle. So without further ado, we're going to get started with this stream. So imagine with me space, the big black yonder. Kaiju herding is it's a dying art. It's a dying industry. The freight warping barons are just strangling the life out of the different herding corporations because they figure that if they can just transport the kaiju herds all the way across the cosmos in one fell swoop via wormholes, then that's a profit. That's some fast cash profit. The issue is kaiju herding is a very specific in has remained the way that it is because of the natural migration of these kaiju cattle across space. It's been happening long before humanity found it, and it hopefully will continue long after with fine kaiju cowboys like ours tonight. Problem is, kaiju rustlers paid by the warping barons are trying to take over the movements of these kaiju. And it is up to our fair cowboys to our good cowfolk to keep the herd safe and keep it moving. So we begin following a massive migration, this huge herd of kaiju cattle. Each one of these creatures, 30 feet tall, just bright green in color with about 6 different, they look like various different types of legs and a combination of legs and flippers, and these massive horns that jut out of their shoulders. and a beautiful face just full of tentacles. And these creatures carry with them the bacterium of 1,000 different worlds, and as they travel across the space planes to various different worlds that they graze on, they transmit these bacteria, seeding new life and helping to grow new life across space. And so our cow folks' job is to make sure that happens without interruption. So we begin following this herd, and our different kaiju cowfolk are taking place on various sides of this long train of kaiju. Um, each of them in their own special, unique type of mech, because you can't quite herd a 30-foot kaiju just in a spacesuit. You need some bigger tech, and so we've got our cowfolk on either side with a large. It's a large, massive football field sized shuttle in the back. That's sort of your base of operations. Um, that's where you can dock for resting when you're not working. And within that shuttle is its pilot, uh, who you all know, your good buddy Hank, who is in there monitoring all of your systems and monitoring the herd from a distance. And we are going to start. I would like everyone to first roll a d6 for me.
Oh dear.
A 5. Maybe that's good.
Yeah.
A
That's
3.
a 6.
That's either really good or really bad.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go high as best. So, Momo, was that you that got a 6? All right. Why don't you? Our camera sort of flies around the herd and zeroes in on your kaiju's mech. What do we see?
A Dane. Dane, if you just picture Ultron, but wearing, like, his skin is basically a suit that you would wear to a wedding. Has a bow tie made of cow print. He has a certificate from a very astute online organization for animal husbandry, which is, of course, an ordained minister for animals. And he is so ready to get to this destination wedding and marry this cattle.
Outstanding, incredible. And what does Dane's mech look like?
Oh, like his skin is basically the whole mech, so it's a very chunky Ultron.
Out, amazing,
Just so chunky.
incredible. So we've got one giant. Is Dane an android? Is there human parts in there? Is he just full synthetic?
It's funny because he's like full synthetic, but still in the mech suit. It's like redundancy, but we go with it.
Awesome. I love it. That is amazing.
So Dane's mech is just a bigger Dane. I love that.
Nesting eggs.
It's Dane's all the way down.
It's like a Russian nesting doll of Danes.
Amazing. All right. Who is next? Did I hear a 5?
I rolled a 5.
All right, Ryan. So the
Well,
camera
everybody else
pans
did.
away from double mech Dane and moves over to your character's mech. Why don't you tell us about that?
I'll tell you about my character's name is Kirk Quantum. Have you ever seen Joe Camel from the Camel cigarettes? I am Joe Camel with like a 10-gallon hat on. Just super slick, super smooth, just here for a good time. He's been doing this all his life. He's an old time cowboy, been doing this his whole entire life. And just you just hate to see something like this just disappear, this lifestyle. So he's a smooth talker, a lover, and a bit of a cowboy. And he's just so excited to be back on the range again.
Outstanding. And one thing I forgot to briefly describe the lasers and feelings system. It is a very simple one-page RPG. Everyone has one stat. It's a number 2 through 5. We work with D6s in this system. Everyone's got one stat. If your number is higher, then your character's better at lasers, which is all about technology, cold rational thinking, various using equipment, that kind of thing. And then if your number is lower, then you're more feelings based, which is intuition, instinct, gut reactions, passionate action. And if whenever the time comes to make a roll to determine how a situation resolves, I'll ask for either a lasers roll, which you have to roll under your number, or a feelings roll, which you have to roll over your number. And that's essentially it. There are ways to get extra D6s if it's related to your job, if you're prepared for it. But that's essentially the system. So let's go back. Momo, what is Dane's number?
I'm really slow. I'm so
What's-
sorry. I was
what's
like,
Dane's
does he
number?
have like a barcode I have to know? But no, his number is 2 for feelings.
Ah, excellent. And Ryan, what is your character? What is Kirk's number?
Kirk is also 2. He's he's a lover, just he's full of feelings and just cowboy sadness.
Excellent. All right. So we went 6. We went 5. Who was next? Who had the next?
I got a 3.
All right, VJ, tell us about you.
Hey everybody, happy to meet your acquaintance. My name is Chromozyte Jenkins, and I stand at a 7'11". I am an android. I do have this just obsidian black skin, short dreadlocks, just coal black eyes, and my whole body is very much like a chrome color. And my kaiju looks like a silverback gorilla. And my number's a 5 for lasers.
Oof. There you go.
Oh, and I got my animal husbandry degree from an accredited academy out in sector 37659B.
Well known for its animal husbandry courses. Excellent.
We went to rivaling academies, obviously.
Right.
Clearly.
Right. VJ, watch your volume. You were coming in just a little hot there. And Jake, why don't you bring us up?
Well, hang on. I scrolled away from my character's info. Deacon McCoy. Deacon McCoy is he's an experienced rancher, farmhand, above all else, a gunslinger. He's got keen eyes, and he's keeping his eye out for any cattle rustlers, any kaiju thieves. Because these kaiju, that's the payload. Anybody tries to mess with them, oh boy, ain't gonna be good for them. He stands 5'5" when he is not in his mech. He's got on a cowboy hat. And his arms from just above the elbow down are synthetic, robotic, metallic. He's got robot arms. And his mech is just this big, chunky thing, like 30 feet tall. It's got like a big, chunky torso, and it's got like the long arms and the short, stubby legs. And his mech also has a gun strapped to its hip, in addition to all the other various weaponry that it has. But it also, his mech has like a big glass dome in the front, so you can like see him sitting in there piloting it. And the roof, the cockpit is just filled with cigar smoke. He's got a ventilation system. It's fine, and you know.
Cigar smoking in space. The
They're herbal
absolute
cigars.
nerve of this man.
But his number, he's right down the middle. He's 3. He's a man of passion, but he knows you got to keep a level head in these situations. He's not drawing his gun just to draw his gun.
Excellent. Gotta keep cool. Gotta keep a cool head. Outstanding.
Cool.
So we've got a 3, a 5, and 2 2s. I like that spread. Well, folks, we're gonna jump right into something interesting because we have already hit our first milestone of $25. So I'm jazzed about that. All right, so you all hear a crackling speaker come over your audio systems in your various mechs. Hank comes over the radio. Well, now y'all better buckle up because it looks like the front end of the herd is starting to get a little bit ornery up there. They're looking for something to graze down on. So why don't we guide them in, folks? And sure enough, you all see the front end of the herd is starting to get a little squirrely. They're bumping into each other. And you're right on course with a planet that is common among the migration pattern. This is a really popular grazing spot for the kaiju. So I need everyone to tell me first, what are you doing to help guide this rambunctious herd to help keep them calm enough so they don't hurt each other and get down to the planet? What is y'all's move here?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh.
I know Deacon is he's gonna run his mech up. He's gonna kick some boosters on like the back of the calves of the stumpy little mech legs, and so he'll boost up to the front there, and then he'll just he's gonna start just sort of, oh there, easy does it, easy, calm down now. He's gonna try and start center them a little bit, maybe try and calm them down with his experience of herding these. You go easy now, easy there.
All right, that sounds to me like a feelings roll. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a feelings roll there, Jake? So we're looking for over your number.
Oh, that's a 1, so that's a no.
All right. So your character's name is Deacon, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. So Deacon heads up there trying to settle these kaiju down. But sure enough, one of them is sort of like bumping into the other. It's getting having a lot of attitude, and it goes, and then it makes the noise that the kaiju make when it's all flustered and bothered. There's not really any sound in space, but there are other things that can be communicated, and you feel this sort of this warble throughout the mech. That's just like a whoop 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 whoop. It's the sound that you know very well means this kaiju is upset and wants to take it out on something, and that something is currently you. The other
easy now, Dolores.
Dolores is not being easy right now. The other 3, you see this have Deacon real quick boosted up to the front and is having trouble with this kaiju. And you still got to direct the herd down to the planet. So someone give me another move. Who's next?
I think if Chromazite Jenkins sees a friend in danger, is gonna on the silverback gorilla and come running up and just let out a huge bellow to try and maybe not calm the creature down, but it'll know if it starts a fight, it's gonna lose.
Amazing. So are you going for so this to me sounds a little bit like some passionate action. This sounds a little more feelings. Are you trying to go more lasers or feelings with this?
If you're telling me it sounds more like passion, I'll accept that. But I think, do you think it's fair to say that we would know these creatures can be we can back them down with a little show of hey, we're more in charge here than you are.
So this is sort of like procedural for Chromocyte. This is like, oh, you gotta stand firm. This is what I know you do with these creatures. Okay, all right,
exactly.
Okay. I see. Give me a lasers roll. They're looking for under your number.
I literally have a 5. I rolled a 6.
No.
I should have stuck with feelings. Well,
Okay. This is good. This is good.
Rough
I love
start.
this. Now, okay. Before we resolve that, I just want to move to the other two. Dane and Kirk. Let's see what you two get up to. How does your characters affect this situation?
I'll
Because
let
you can
Dane
see
go
things
first.
are not good up at the front.
Yeah, I see all of this happening, and I know that there's kind of some bad blood between Dolores and cousin Vinny, and that's what must have started this stampede. So I go up there and with my little dove missiles on the side of my shoulders, and I say, "Listen, listen, you two, you have to break it up. We gotta get to the destination." So I'm there like grandstanding with my dove missiles on my shoulders.
Because of course, an animal husbandrist has a militarized mech with wedding paraphernalia. We love it.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
all right. So, are you going for lasers or feelings here?
You know what? I'm gonna go with lasers here. I have to roll under my number.
All right. Lasers, you got to roll
Ooh.
under.
Oh, so my number is 2, so I have to roll 1. Is that it?
Yes, you
I
got
think
to.
if you
Yep,
roll
you
your
gotta
number
roll a one.
exactly,
Oh God. I can't. I can't erase all of what I just said and say I did feelings instead, right?
No,
Let's see.
we're committing to the bit.
We're gonna commit to the bit. That's a 3. This is just getting significantly worse each time.
Okay. Excellent. And so Ryan, what in the world is Kirk gonna do?
well, he's gonna light up a cigarette in his cockpit, take one deep drag, warm up the sonic emitters, put on a little Willie Nelson, and kind of scoot in. These kaiju love Willie Nelson. Don't worry, y'all whippersnappers. I'm coming in. I'm gonna save y'all hides. They love the sound of old Willie, little outlaw country, and I'm gonna like pump up the volume to the max. I'm gonna start singing on the loudspeaker. I don't know any Willie Nelson off the top of my head at this moment, but Willie Nelson, just imagine Willie Nelson is playing.
Imagine.
Secretly, frequently fond of each other.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a great one. Yeah, that's a perfect one.
All right. That sounds like. I mean, Willie Nelson is as feelings as it gets. So give me a feelings roll.
All right, I need to roll
Please,
over
for the
my
love of God.
number. And I did. I rolled a 5.
Nice.
Thank God.
Is 5 your number?
finally.
Choose my number.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
All
I'm
right.
a feeling.
I keep forgetting what the scale is.
All right. So,
4th time's the charm. That's what they all say.
right. And just as a note, if you feel this is related to your job, let me know because I'm not going to be able to remember all that at the same time. So if you feel it's related to your job, let me know, and you get an extra D6 on that. But we're going to go ahead and move forward. Deacon, Dane, and Chromocyte are all up at the front trying to calm these kaiju, these massive cosmic creatures. And it's starting to go real bad. And you're about to get like trampled. You know that, I mean, that's a hazard of the job, and things are about to go pretty bad when all of a sudden everyone hears over these over your speaker systems is just the dulcet tones of Willie Nelson, just wanna go, and I'm gonna go, and it instantly the kaiju just sort of all just like all lock eyes with Kirk's mech sort of hovering above them, and the herd begins to sort of like flow up to follow him. And then do you lead them down towards the planet?
Yeah, I will. I'll take the Wayland 1 down into the low atmosphere.
Amazing. Yeah, and so we see the herd be got this massive train of kaiju being just flying down through space, and when these kaiju transition into atmospheric space, their bodies sort of condense a little due to the increased pressure, no longer being in zero pressure environment in the vacuum of space, and so like their bodies sort of like uh, condense and harden a lot. They get a lot denser. They're kind of soft and squishy in space, and so then the next thing we hear is just the thundering sound of thousands of these enormous creatures landing on this huge plane of this planet. Um, and they begin doing what kaiju love to do. They find a spot, they start grazing, and the four of you gather together to, you give them space, you let them roam. They don't need, your supervision here. And Hank, Hank calls over the radio. Now, what in tarnation was going on out there? I've seen a few rough herdings in my day, but come on, gang, let's shake out the rust. Shake it out. What's going on?
They seem to be particularly cantankerous.
Yeah, Hank. Wasn't quite our fault.
Think that this marriage is gonna last very long with both sides of the family hating each other like this.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It's a rough day. What are you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Win
look,
some, you lose some.
tell you what, I'm gonna run some diagnostics on your mechs and do some brief biological scanning of all of these kaijus. Make sure everyone's looking good here. Tell you what, why don't you all find some kind of hydration source for these creatures, and we'll meet back up in about an hour. How's that sound?
Sounds good, Hank.
All right, hang out.
Perfect, Hank.
All right.
Thank
So it is now your task to search the planet for some kind of water source for the kaiju. And now, where you are currently is a massive, wide open plain, um, with the unique kind of grass, of foliage that these creatures like, because it's not, they can't just land anywhere. It's these unique planets. And um, so what's your play for trying to find this resource for these creatures? Yes, Momo.
idea. So we all know that it's such a bummer when there's rain on your wedding when there's rain on your wedding. So I think that Dane would have some kind of moisture detection simulator, or not simulation, but detector in the mech suit. So I think he could use that to find a water source.
I think that's pretty good. I'd say, yeah, I think that's a pretty standard part of the job. So I
Hmm.
think this to me sounds like, I know I already had you make a lasers roll, but since we're using some equipment, we're gonna do another lasers roll, but you get an
Okay.
extra d6 because you're prepared.
Okay.
Could
Underneath my lasers, but I have 2d6. How does that work? Or underneath my feelings.
It's whichever one is closer to succeeding.
Lower?
So yeah, so for lasers, you
Okay.
want to roll under, so you take the lower of the 2d6.
Okay. That's a 5, and that's a 1!
All right, all right. So, yeah, so Dane sort of, also, I just want to apologize to everyone everyone watching right now. I think my Wi-Fi is carrying this stream, and we're freezing up a little bit here and there. Um, I don't think there's anything I can do about that right now. Just wanted to acknowledge that. All right, yeah. So Dane, I think, flies the mech up and uses the water scanning equipment, and sure enough, um, quite a ways to the west, there's a landscape full of rock formations. It's very maze-like with a lot of rock tower formations. You've seen movies, and you see flowing through that rock formation terrain is a pretty hefty sized river. So all you'll have to do is guide the herd in that direction.
Shakas, I detected a river up ahead to the west.
I reckon
Excellent
we'd
job,
better
Dane.
head that way.
Good job.
All right. So I want everyone to give me either lasers or feelings roll. You pick. Give me a roll. Just 1d6. I want to see how this turns out.
I do feelings. I pass.
All right.
Same.
I'm gonna go one at a time. VJ, what'd you roll and did you pass?
Lasers, and I passed.
All right. Momo.
Lasers, I rolled a 1, so I passed.
Okay. Jake.
I rolled feelings and I got exactly my number. I rolled a 3.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. We'll get back to that. And Ryan.
I rolled the feelings as well, and I got a 5, which I believe passes.
All right. So we've got a couple of lasers roll, a couple of feelings roll, all successes, and we have our first lasers feelings or laser feelings. So Deacon is having laser feelings right now. What you all notice? So the combination of all these successful rolls, you're able to guide the herd, get on the way, and it takes a while, to get this herd moving. But you eventually do. But you notice that there's still a general sense of unrest among the kaiju, and it's odd, like they started grazing. It happened up in space, but you brought them down okay. But there's still some uneasiness, which is a bit of a surprise. Deacon, you're having some laser feelings right now. When you roll your number exactly, you have laser feelings. So when that happens, you, the player, get to ask me for some special insight into the situation. Basically, you get one question to ask. Some examples are: what are they really feeling? Who's behind this? How could I get them to blank? What should I be on the lookout for? What's the best way to blank? What's really going on here?
Deacon, I think he rolled feelings. He was going by his gut right now, and right now we're in unfamiliar territory, wide open plain, heading towards a place with a lot of places where people could be hiding. Deacon wants to know: Are we walking into an ambush? Are there kaiju rustlers about, and is that what's got the herd so on edge?
Excellent. Deacon's instincts are honed to the sharpest point. You know these creatures, but you also know your gut, and you know where the water is and the terrain that's around that it's within. That watering hole terrain is prime location for an ambush, and something's a brewing. Something is a brewing.
I'll say over the comm system, I'll be like, you all better keep a sharp eye out. Up ahead looks like we could be walking into some kind of trap. I'll step out in front of the herd and just keep my eyes open. Just I don't know, keep your wits about you, keep your eyes sharp.
I'm gonna tell you something my grandpappy used to tell me. If you know it's a trap, it ain't a trap, it's a showdown. Maybe we'll have a bit of a showdown with these folks.
His mech, he like draws the gun, the handgun on the side of which is like the size of a bus, like spins and he goes, "You're gosh darn right."
Wait,
And like,
I think I heard that saying before too, but isn't it only a showdown if we're more evenly matched? Isn't it still like a...
You know what? You're right. It'll be a beatdown because we're gonna clobber them. You're right on that one.
yeah,
that's right. We're gonna beat them down.
You all hear a crackle over your comm systems. It's Hank again. Hank comes in and says, "Hey, everybody! I just want to let you know I was running some tests and some system diagnostics, and I found, I think, some kind of spatial anomaly in our quadrant out here. That might have been that might have been a reason why the kaiju were acting up like that. I haven't seen anything like that around here before. I'm gonna keep digging into this, but just keep your eyes open, okay?"
I'm going to be honest with you here, there, Hank. I understood about half the words that you just said, but you keep on doing you, brother. You keep on keeping on. You know what I'm saying?
Kirk, you never change, my boy. Okay, Hank out. All right. So what's your move? You got to water these creatures, but something's afoot.
Well, I'm gonna keep to my word. I'll go out ahead, and I'm gonna weapon drawn, and I think one of my shoulder cannons is armed. I'll step out ahead, and I'll give this a good patrol because this is what I'm here for. Um, I'll walk ahead and scan the spots, see if there are any possible hooligans out there trying to interrupt our work.
All right. Okay. Are you so what's your primary goal here? Are you trying to be as observant as you possibly can, or be a little more subtle and not be seen?
Uh, I'm trying to be as observant as I possibly can. I don't care if they see me.
Hmm.
Uh, I want them to know that I know they're there. If they see me, I want them to be like, "Oh, that guy, he's got a gun and he's looking for us."
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, you scout ahead. The other three start getting the herd in motion. You zoom ahead to this rocky terrain. So you make your way in, um, and there's a lot of cover. There's a lot of turns, a lot of corners to go around. There are a lot of shadowy caverns off to the side that have been eroded away. A lot of places people could hide here. But you're ready. You've got your guns drawn. You're prepared. And as you're making your way, you see some movement at the corner of your eye, up on top of a small mesa, and it's a telltale sign of a mech. You hear the sounds of like gears and gyroscopes and mechanisms of that just turned away and moved away. So you definitely know someone's there, and they know that you're there. You can't yet figure out how many there are and their exact orientation, but you know the general area of where they're going to be, and you know that um, is very close in proximity to the watering spot.
All right. I'll relay that over the comm. Say, looks like we got someone hiding up on the ridge there, about 4 points northeast up there. On top of that, what do you reckon is the play? Should we try and smoke them out, or just see how it goes?
I say we gun it, and I'm going to take out like this giant knife and just boost over there.
Oh dear. I'm gonna go guard the
Outlaw
cattle. Make
country.
sure. I'm gonna go guard the cattle. Make sure we don't get another stampede.
I guess it's time to go to work.
Yeah. I'm also going to play. Nice. I'm going to play Willie Nelson very loud over my loudspeakers, so the whole wedding party does not see the carnage that's about to go down.
You're
I was
playing.
a highwayman.
You're playing Willie
On
Nelson.
the
I'm going to
road
turn on
again.
Dolly Parton. It's 9 to 5. It's time to make a living.
It's just a mashup of On the Road Again and 9 to 5.
Chromazite, now Chromazot knows this isn't accurate to how gorillas can actually do things, but is just so excited to think about a gorilla hurling a giant fuck off like boulder like thing. So just kind of opens up his chest, and it's got like just this trash heap of metal scrap, pulls it out, and it's just launching it over where he was just told it is, and is a little ways away from the kaiju as not to scare him, but close enough. If anything sneaks back up, he can turn around and just rip him apart with his bare hands.
Amazing. All right, this is your mech. This is your tech. Give me a lasers roll. Chromosite. I want a lasers roll from Chromosite.
All right. Come on, big boy. That'll be a 2.
Excellent. You hurl this hunk of metal scrap in that direction. And you can't quite see it sort of like reaches it arcs over top of this rocky terrain. You can't quite see where it goes or what happens where it lands. But you all bordering this herd, guiding it towards the water, making it very clear that you will not be taken advantage of today. You make it to the watering hole, and the herd starts to pass through the river, drinking as they go, and so it's just this flow of kaiju thundering through the water as that begins, and it's like you gotta patrol or stand guard over the kaiju as they make this journey through the water, and there's a path that they loop around to come back to where they were. But you got to stand guard at this watering hole because this is like a critical pinch point. And so as you're standing guard, you see up on top of the rock formations, there are about 5 or 6. No, not 5 or 6. There are 6 individuals that come up that make themselves known. They step out to the edge of these various rock towers that they're hiding behind. Some on these small-sized mesas, and because you all chose to go loud and proud, they don't have they're not in an advantageous position necessarily. You've got as much cover as they do, sort of thing. And you see one of them, sort of in the middle of the line of 6, has a mech that is very humanoid in shape, and it's got this on the head apparatus part. It's got this turret that swivels around a sort of brim on the top of its head, and it looks kind of like a cowboy hat with a turret on top, and it is painted just the darkest matte black you've ever seen. This turret hat that he's got on the top of his cowboy mech, and you see him step forward, and they go, "Well, now, what have we here? A couple of was that 4? My goodness, 4 kaiju cowfolk bringing along the herd. Well, I'll tell you, folks, I haven't seen antiques like these walking around in quite a while. Tell me now, folks, what leg of the migration are you on? What brings you around here?"
Well, pardon me, friend. I don't reckon I've got any good reason to give you information about our business, seeing as you're interrupting us in our careful work. So how about you just stay up on that ridge, nice and calm and quiet like. We'll water our kaiju, and things don't need to get ugly. And as he says ugly, like every weapon in his mech cocks at once. He says, "Now does that sound like a deal worth taking?"
Hey, well, cool it, partner. There's no need for violence. We're all gentle folk here. I'm a man of business myself. The name's Corbeau, Dupree Corbeau, and
I'm not a gentlefolk.
oh, I see. The rough and tumble type. I forget that you kaiju cowfolk are of a saltier sort. Now, here's the way I see it. Y'all are doing mighty fine work with these kaiju, getting them fed, getting them watered, getting them rested. What say that you go ahead and just why don't you all just head back to your shuttle over there, and we'll take care of these kaiju from here on out. I can certainly make it worth your while. I've got quite the pretty penny in my pocket, so to speak. What do you say we make a deal?
Unfortunately, I cannot allow that to happen. The grooms have been very clear that they have the venue for a set amount of time. We cannot be a second early or a second late.
That confuses me greatly, but I understand the intent.
Just some kaijus getting married, partner. Ain't nothing for you to fool around or worry about.
You want to interrupt the beautiful thing that is love?
Love everlasting.
Love? Puh! No room for love in my world. I don't know what kind of things you all get up to out here on the plains, but we got
Deeply
no
sad.
time.
You should probably talk to a therapist about that.
For
Yeah,
certain.
that sounds deeply.
You sound
toxic.
incredibly unbalanced. You might want to
Yeah.
check on that. How are
You
you?
lonely?
Well, I'm gonna need y'all to submit that to my employer because therapy is not a covered benefit. But
Well,
that's a
what's your
conversation
employer
for
then?
another day.
Eh,
We'll send a
Who-
letter out. We'll send a letter out there. Who's your employer? Maybe get a better health benefit.
Oh, you know what? I think I want to have a role. I think I want to see a role here. Um, I feel like this is feelings. You know, this is subtle manipulation.
A 3, which I believe succeeds.
Excellent. Uh, this uh, um, this person says, all right, I see it, uh, I work. We fine folk here, gesturing to the other 5 in mechs around him. We are gainfully contracted by Freight Warping Incorporated, a name I'm sure y'all are quite familiar. I see you're quite familiar with it. Here's what's gonna happen. All right. Old Corbeau, old Dupree Corbeau's not one to blabber on without dissent. So you can either take this generous deal I've offered and be on your way with no harm, no foul, no offense, or you can we can try things the hard way.
Well, I just got one thing to say to that, Dupree. How do you spell your name? I want to get it right on the tombstone. I'm going to draw like this huge machete.
It's at that point you hear another crackle over over the over your speakers, and it's Hank says, "Hey, everybody, listen up. There's another spatial anomaly. It's warpers. It's warp rustlers."
Yeah.
We're
Hank, I think we figured that out.
No, you
two
don't
stepping
understand.
ahead of
Oh, gang, you don't understand. They're here at the shuttle. They're trying to cut off the back end of the herd.
Oh,
And it's at
Oh,
that
that's a
point
problem.
that Dupree Corbeau, his mech doesn't smile, but you can tell he smirks like a real shit. He goes, "Well, looks like time's about up. So we're gonna start taking these now." And everybody starts blasting.
Blasting.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna move into a bit of a sort of a combat scene here. Um, all these different, they're different mechs. Some are up high, some in the rock formations. Everyone starts blasting. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna ask what your move is. What's your plan here? We're gonna start with Chromosite. What does Chromosite do?
Right. Okay. So Chromosite is very much like a hands-on fuck 'em up kind of person. Doesn't the long range options for him is very much punching like rocks apart and throwing them. So instead, it's just gonna go running and leap and just gonna get all that momentum to land down and start fighting somebody up at the top. Well, even like if he's gotta like run up and like grab into like the rock wall and then propel himself from there with a little bit of help from some extra strength in the legs built purposely for that, so he can get that big King Kong effect of just jumping high in the air and landing on something. So that's the vibe. It's going straight
Amazing.
for this motherfucker that was talking to him.
All right, this sounds to me like a feelings roll. So I would love to get a feelings roll from
You know what? I'm gonna use the blood spider die.
you.
That's a 1. That's a 1.
Oh.
Wait. No, wait. I have to roll above my feelings. I failed. Damn. I got a 5. I forgot. I flipped it in my head.
Oh, no.
Well,
You got lost in the sauce.
I got lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. All right. Yeah. So you launch up there and go to smash down on one of these rustlers. And they're quick. They see what's going on. They jump out of the way, and your attack misses. And what you notice is that one of the other rustlers came out from another position and began to head off the herd from the position that you left. So they're looking to divert the herd away from you all. All right, what is Dane up to?
Go down and knows that the grooms, Harry and Hennessy, are at the front of the pack, and goes up to them and is just like, listen, there's been a wrench in sort of the situation. We need to get everyone back on the shuttle as soon as possible, meaning right now. You're gonna notice that there are some warpers around. That's okay, because you guys are 30 feet tall, and there is no way that even the warpers are equipped to handle a stampede. So we just got a stampede to the shuttle.
Interesting. All right, so are you going for lasers or feelings here?
I think I'm going for feelings. I'm appealing to the grooms, the urgency of the situation.
I see. And you called out you're going for the grooms. Okay. So
Yes.
let's do a lasers roll, but you can or feelings roll, and you can have an extra D6 for being for this is related to your profession.
Yeah, higher than that. That was a 6 and a 5, so a 6. I have to roll over my feelings, right?
Over your feelings. That's right.
Yeah, I did that.
All right. Outstanding. Yeah. So these grooms. Yep. You've been spending time with these kaiju, and they know you. They're familiar with you. They get your energy, and they snap to it right away. They start to divert the herd away from the watering hole, and you know that they're going to start heading back to the shuttle area.
Mhm.
And so that's good. But we still have the rest of the rustlers to deal with. So, Deacon, what's your move?
Well, first thing Deacon does is he puts 2 fingers to his lips and then puts them to a picture of him and his husband that he's got like taped to the glass in front of him. His husband is not human. I could not think of a fun alien to make him. But and then he goes, time to go to work, and draws another gun, and like basically he's bristling with firearms and various armaments, and just starts like sprinting across and like firing at every single cattle rustler he can see. He's trying to take out as many of them as he possibly can.
Outstanding. This is about as lasers as it gets, and this is certainly related to your profession. So let's get a lasers roll.
Was I also prepared for this?
Sure. Deacon's been waiting for this kind of thing. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, brother. I'm trying to. Oh, well, dang! I rolled 2 3s and a 1. So 2 laser feelings and a success.
Amazing.
Precision.
Let me see. Oh, I completely forgot a mechanism of the game. There are different results based on how many successes you get. So you got um, 1 success and 2 laser feelings.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So with 1 success, you barely manage it. There's going to be a complication, harm, or cost. I think um, let's guide the cost based on the laser feelings.
Well, so if I may.
You may.
Oh wait. No, a 1 is a failure, right?
You roll. Lasers is rolling under.
Okay. Oh right, yeah. So I got 1 success and 2 so that would be 3 successes.
Do they count as a roll of
Yeah,
laser feelings? Counts as a success. 3
I read
successes. You.
I read the
He
rules.
read the rules.
Something
We-
I've never done before.
we love to see it. All right, going to take just a brief moment here as we come upon 9 o'clock, about halfway through the stream. Just want to remind everybody, well, thank you for being here. And we are still working on raising money for the Entertainment Community Fund. We are close to a milestone of a random event happening if we hit $50. So spread the word, and if we can get there, something fun will happen. Okay, so 3 successes. It's a critical success and with some extra effect. All right, why don't you describe to me what is the sort of daydream of Deacon that actually happens in this moment? Everything that he's dreamed about actually happens.
I mean, he is it looks as though chromosite what
Chromosite?
chromosite, it's a new one. Chromosite Jenkins seems to have the big boys up there on top of the ridge in their capable hands. So Deacon is just running along like the base along the river, and it's kind of that like the way like big CGI kind of things run. It's got that kind of bounce to it. And he's like skidding to stop. He's like pop. He's like just letting off shots. He's just having like a full slow-mo action hero moment, just like headshotting every single mech that he can see, pretty much. And he's going home today. He's like only, and I think, what does he say? He definitely quips.
Oh,
Definitely quips. But I don't know. I got nothing right now.
You know what might inform
Whip.
You know what might
Whip.
inform the quip? You got 2 laser feelings, so you get a double dose of insight into what's going on. So again, so you can ask 2 questions about the situation at hand.
Hang on.
And get some extra
I need my
insight.
glasses to see what's going on. So just like 2 questions, you say?
Yeah, 2 questions.
We'll just leave that there for a second. I think if I can, as I'm running, if I skid past a downed mech, would I be able to determine like which specific like warp freighter that these guys are working for? Do they have like a badge or insignia, perhaps?
Yes, you learn that their warp corp that they work for is the one of the biggest names in freight warping, and has been actively pursuing buying out your sort of the herding group that you all are a part of. There's an organization that you're all a part of, and they've been actively trying to buy it out. and you, Deacon, have actually specifically been approached by this company for your prowess when it comes to the more physical actions when it comes when it involves kaiju, essentially trying to turn you into what you know as a rustler.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Uh. I can't think of a second question.
No problem.
I'll
No problem.
I'll poll the group. Do you guys reckon there's anything we should know?
Is there like
Mm.
maybe like an obvious weakness on the
Mm.
boss's mech or something?
Yeah.
That's something that could
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. If as I'm moving around, do I get a better look at Dupree, Dupree's mech? Can I see if he's got maybe like a loose armor panel or something, a weakness that Chromazite might be able to exploit?
Yes. So you notice on Dupree's mech the the legs actually don't look as sturdy. Um, but you also notice, because like as you're maneuvering around this rocky terrain, you notice that's because Dupree, his mech is more focused on like boost flight, on
Mm.
looks like boosting out of a situation quickly. And you connect a dot with that. You remember Hank's message that there's a different group of rustlers that are back way behind it towards the back end of the herd. And you gather that Dupree is not looking to engage too much. He's looking to make sure that this job happens, and that involves getting out quick.
In that case, yeah, I'll call through the comms. I'll say, Chromazite, Dupree's looking to make a run for it. I'd better grab on tight before he jumps.
I'll take the legs.
And I figured out what Deacon says. Just like as he's like shooting all these rustlers, he just goes, "Tell the devil who sent you."
Outstanding. All right, so Ryan, what is Kirk up to? What's his move in all this? How does he
I
handle
think
it?
he's going to he doesn't believe in guns. He's only got this like I mean, you know what? I'll say it's like a lightsaber. We're going Gundam here. So it's like a lightsaber. He's gonna like as everybody's shooting, he kind of gets down low and he wants to get behind one of the rustlers and like bring the blade to their neck, maybe take him hostage.
Oh, interesting. Sort of play into the feelings of the situation. All right. Yeah. Let's roll feelings, and also, and you can have a D6. This sounds like this is related to Kirk's whole thing.
He does this a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
He takes a lot of
Stop
hostages.
taking hostages.
Hey, I got a 5 and a 6. I think those both
2
succeed.
successes. All right. Yes. Yeah. You managed to maneuver quickly around this mech and get your Gundam sword across it, holding it hostage. What's your intent? What do you like? Call out to Dupree or something, or to this group?
Yeah, all right, Dupree. How about we stop this? We stop this kerfuffle, and I'll let your man here go. You shoot one more shot, though, you have a hard time finding his atoms as they're smeared across this here blade.
All right. A couple things. A couple things here. Um, Dupree, who's like up on top of this like mesa, um, assesses the situation, sees what the hell Deacon just did, and then he's got friggin' Chromacite right nearby in this huge smashing titan of a mech, and also has Dane, who's like taking control of the herd. And Dupree looks and says, sort of like raises the mech arms, says, "All right, now we don't need any more. We don't need any more violence. I think that I think that this situation here may not be as worth it as I had thought. I think it might be time to cut my losses." And it's at that point that Dupree uses those boost rockets and launches out of there. Because folks, we have passed the $50 milestone,
Yeah.
and which that is a great thing. I love that. I wonder if we can get to 100 by the end of the stream. Um, Dupree takes off, and the guy that Kirk is holding goes, "Hey, boss, what are you doing? You can't just leave us here." And at that point, Hank comes back on over the comms and says, "Gang, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to get back here. Stat, they wrangled a handful of the kaiju and loaded up onto their warp shuttles." And we are, and the other rustlers, everyone that's left, they're going to start fleeing. They're going to flee away for a moment. Or
I got a hold of one. You're like, well, partner, you got a choice here. Either you can do a drastic career change or you can do a drastic life change. But it's real on you at this point.
no, yeah, whatever you want, man. I'm not about to die for this. Dupree's a shithead. He just left us. All right, what do you
All
want me
right.
to do?
Well, I'll get HR to send you the paperwork and everything, but just imagine that there's like a big old, you ever heard of a sword of Damocles? Well, it's a lot like this here lightsaber. You mess up once, it's going to come down on you. You know what I'm saying?
You got it, boss. You're the boss now. What do you want me to
Well, I don't know if
do?
oh yeah. Well, I'd like you to start. You'd like we need some help. It seems like some of your Bex buddies. Maybe you could tell us where some of these here warp shuttles are. As a sign of good faith, and we can get your paperwork rolling.
Oh no, yeah, sure. And he just starts to lay out the whole plan. And so he tells you that the plan was that these wrestlers, there was a small group that Dupree was leading ahead, like sort of like a scout team, right? Um, and you figure out that was that initial spatial anomaly that Hank detected. That was them. They had already warped in. And then you learned about the second warp, the second spatial anomaly, which was their warp shuttle coming in to grab up as many of the kaiju as they can from behind, with Dupree distracting you all up ahead. And so you know that Dupree is heading back to this shuttle, which is back in the plains area, and they're working on kaiju jacking, loading them up into some shuttles, and they're going to try and warp out. And so you've got the rest of the herd that is sort of like under your control, but there's a group that has been separated off. Yes, Momo.
Do I see any of the? Is it like a see-through capsule that they're in? That the captured herd is in?
No, they are in a completely different spot. They're way back in a different area, back in the big plain that you all landed in first. You all are still in this rocky outcropping.
Okay, so I can't see them at all. Dang.
Yeah,
You could. I think you were the farthest back. You could probably. You could. You might be able to like cut back and see them before any of us do.
To the back, to see if any of the main wedding party has gone missing, basically. So I'm speeding through, I'm looking through the faces, the heads, whatever, to be like, are all the main wedding party here, or have they been captured? Because that's going to be a real big problem. Do I see any of them missing?
Yeah, absolutely you do.
God damn it. God
Yeah.
damn it. This can't be happening. This
A
is
real
my
animal
first
husbandry
assignment.
Faux pas.
This can't. Hennessy and Harry cannot find out. They can't find out. Okay, so I'm jetting after the the missing cattle.
All right. Yeah, you start. You start rocketing towards the missing kaiju. What are the rest of you doing?
I have a quick question. Now, when this shithead launched himself, I was up at the top already. Is it possible for me to have because like I said, I got them extra powerful haunches because I want to do those big King Kong launches to have tried to have launched myself to grab him since I knew he was heading to leave because of the intel I got from my good partner here.
Excellent, excellent question. Let's do. Uh, I think that could be a feelings roll, just so like gut reaction, instinct, going after it like that.
I make a I make an argument that I am prepared to do it because I knew he was probably gonna run off because of the info.
Yes, that is what the intel was for.
Awesome. Okay.
You got it. You got it.
Please. I got a 5 and a 6.
Hell yeah.
Feelings.
I got a 5 and a
that
6.
that does it. That does it. All right. So that is that. And what was your number again?
My number's a 5, so if it was feelings,
So
it's feelings, right? I have to.
two successes with a laser feelings. All right, excellent. Yeah, you are able to, um, you as he launches, you jump and grab hold of those legs of the robot, and it's like weighing. It's like he's still going, but he's like it's weighing him down a lot, right? Um, so you have a laser feelings. Is there any additional insight that you would like to glean from this situation?
Hmm. Yeah, okay. Yes. Would I think it would be better just to hold on as tightly as possible until we get to the destination, or to try to continue to climb up and just get this individual in some compromising position to force him to touch down? Like,
Mhm.
what feels like the better plan here to
Let's
really
see.
get back our kaiju?
So you know that Dupree is the boss of this operation. Um, so if he were to be compromised, that would throw a big wrench in their plans.
Compromising position it is.
All right.
Compromise him.
All right. Um, we have. So here's the situation. We've got a separated group of the kaiju herd being attempting to be loaded onto the shuttle, on a warp shuttle, to be stolen, to be hijacked. We've got um, we've got Chromocyte uh, gripping on to old Dupree, who's trying to make it back to that warp shuttle. And you've got the other three of you, and we have Dane, who is hightailing it towards that separated part of the herd. Um, and we've got Deacon and Kirk, who are back with the main section of the herd by the watering hole. So the problems that you face right now, you don't know exactly where the missing part of the herd is, and Chromocyte is in a compromising position, and Dane is by themselves, by himself, looking by himself. Um, so what? So I want to talk to Deacon and Kirk. You two, what are you? Where's your head at? Where are your heads at right
I think you uh Deacon I think is the younger of the two, and I think is thinks in terms a little bit like, oh, I might be the quicker of the two of us. So Deacon is gonna look at Kirk and be like, and just say, I'll go back Dane up with the herd. You what you reckon, partner?
Well, I guess I could, take. I wouldn't mind taking a piece of Dupree with me. I guess we're calling it that way. And I got my new friend Jerry over here. Uh, he's got to earn his keep if he wants to get that HR paperwork. So
Gotta make sure we get him that union paperwork too.
Yeah. You gotta pay your dues. So you can't forget that. It's important. If we go on strike, that's what pays for the the strike and
Yeah.
everything. You get me, Jerry?
But remember, the benefits of the union are far better than not having a union. Of course,
Yeah, you should have saw my teeth before I got in the union. It was bad. They got dental.
it was bad. Like when he says bad, was
It's more of like a lack of teeth, if we were gonna be honest of it. They got me new ones. So
well. Anyway, I'm gonna go back Dane up.
Amazing. Yeah, Jerry goes, Dupree always said that unions were a bunch of slackers that didn't want to get work done.
well, it seems
I
like
got
these
to look
bunch of
into this.
well, I guess if we're a bunch of slackers, I guess we still, what does that say about you, Jerry? You got caught by one.
Oh, man.
All right, well, let's go kick your old boss's ass real quick. And I'm going to jet over to that area and be like, all right, come on, Jerry.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I got to take a quick pause and let my dog out of this room.
Is it Nina? I didn't hear me.
Oh, jeez.
Nick, are you also wearing a jumpsuit? Oh yeah. Nick, are you also wearing a jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, if I had time, I would have tried to find a bandana to wear around my neck, too.
Brother.
Brother. All right. So we're going to let's cut up to Chromocyte, who is just launching through the air. So Dupree he's actively trying to shake you off from this. And you are a high stakes, high speed air grapple. Lay it out for me. What are you trying to do?
Right. So at this point, I'm trying to climb up there and just get my big old, just huge silverback gorilla arm around the neck. Now I understand a mech is not like the rest of our bodies, but here's the thing. Built into this mech, once I get my arm right around here and I just give it a little quick tap, I can do some wonky things to other mechs through their neck areas, through the mechanisms in the arm. So I really just got to climb and get a good grip on this one.
Amazing.
You're gonna slice him.
Perfect. All right, let's. What do you think? Do you think this is lasers or feelings? I feel like this might be lasers.
I think this might be lasers too. This is very much I know my technology. I had this built because I had a very specific fighting style in mind, despite this not being my animal husbandry being my specific thing. I had a lot of thoughts going into this. Be like, okay, what can the silverback gorilla do, and how can I mechanize that? So let's go. I gotta roll under my little guy.
All right, and why don't you give me an extra D6? I think you're prepared for this. This is your mech's thing.
Okay. I have a 5. A 1 and a 4.
There you go. 2 successes. All right. Yeah. So what's the goal with this? Are you trying to destroy his mech? Just bring him down? What's your goal?
So essentially what happens with this, oftentimes it gets in and it starts messing with the mechanical wiring. So if it's if we're on the our mechs know when we're the ones that have the capabilities to fly, know when we're flying in the air, know when we're on the ground. So it just kind of starts to power down either the systems that's keeping them upright, so that it's just kind of locked in my hand if we're on the ground. But if we're in the air, the mechanisms I got in here kind of interfere with that and start lowering them to the ground quickly, but not in such a way that we will die if we get down there. So that it becomes very much I'm holding you here, and if you move incorrectly, I will rip this mech suit apart on you.
Amazing. So yeah, you're able to do this maneuver and essentially bring Dupree down to the ground. And you have fully impeded his path back to his team, back to his shuttle. But in so doing, you are now one-on-one with Dupree, and his sort of hat turret sort of recalibrates as you all tumble to the ground. and says, "Well, partner, that was a mistake because it's just you and me out here. You ain't got the rest of your team to help."
I love my team dearly. Dane's a little bit strange. I don't always understand the animal husbandry lingo, but I love my tier dearly. But let's be perfectly clear. When it comes to raw power and ripping shit apart, I'm the one you better fear being alone with. They can't stop me from killing you.
Woo-wee. All right, we're gonna cut over to Dane. What are you trying to do here?
So walk with me here. I I am in a mech suit that is completely prepared for all the worst things that could ever happen at a wedding and all the best things at the same time. I am prepared for a possible runaway scenario. So I would like to fire like my dove missiles go back into their casings and out come reinforced net missiles to then go and take like and almost what is that word? Go around the capsule and keep it there so it cannot go away.
All right, and who are you firing? Who are you trying to fire this at?
Firing it at the shuttle that has the cattle that should not be there, the ones that should be ours,
Got
the
it.
captured cattle.
All right. So your first problem is that you don't know exactly where they are.
Shoot, I don't see the shuttle anywhere.
So the first thing you got to do is right. Yeah, you don't see them yet. You got to make your way out of the rocky terrain, and then Hank had called saying that they were back in the big open plain where you all had landed the kaiju. So you have
Oh,
to
this whole time I've been traveling there.
right, exactly. So
Okay, okay.
so
Mhm.
why don't you give let's do a feelings roll to see if you can like gut instinct find your way back to this missing herd.
Fumble of feelings. When you have a 2, that's a fumble. It's a 1.
Oh man. Okay,
God
so
damn, I
right.
hate to see it.
So um you uh you find them. It took you a while to find them because the space was so big, but you do find them. The problem is uh, the last of the kaiju has been loaded up,
Damn.
and you could see from a distance this was this was the maid of honor.
God, Harry's gonna have a fucking fit. Team, we got a problem. Dolores has been not Dolores. Gina has been captured.
I'm gonna put on my excluding excluding James. Like, y'all remember which one that is, or
Yeah, of
Maid
course.
of
Starts
honor. The maid of
describing.
honor has been captured.
because I feel like sometimes Dane's just making up these names as he goes.
You really just gotta pay attention. You get the hang of it, Dane. Yeah. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad.
Bad. Harry is going to have a cow.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cattle joke, but
It's a good one.
I thought it was a good one. Yeah.
I'll just say like hang on, I'm on my way, and I'm gonna start arming like a thermal homing missile that I have.
All right. So we cut back. We zoom back out. Um, we go over to Deacon. Now, Deacon, you were running to back up um, Dane.
Yeah.
Okay. So so you go running up. You locate Dane, and you see the same thing that the trailer has been. The shuttle has been loaded up, and like liftoff procedure has begun. And they have to be like out of atmosphere in order to in order to warp. But I'm gonna say, Deacon, you also see that um, sort of Hank gives you. Hank is flying your old shuttle, sort of high above the sky, and you um, get a sort of a sensory readout of the area. You see the shuttle being lifted off with the heisted cattle, but you also see Chromosite uh, facing down Dupree one-on-one over there. So how does Deacon want to handle this?
I've got full faith in Chromazite and Kirk back there. Um, if I know where that shuttle is, I'm going after it. I got a plan.
Are you so you're going after the shuttle?
Yeah.
All right. So you start making your way over there. We're gonna cut over to Kirk. Kirk, what are you doing? You and Jerry.
Are they mid-air right now, like tussling?
No, they have sort of like tumbled onto the ground and are like facing off, like ooh.
All right. I'm gonna have my new protege Jerry and we're going to zip zop zap shoot over there. Maybe if it seems like a fair, like this is a high noon type of situation, we'll wait, but weapons drawn. Um, I'll take a look at a chromosite to see if they're like, oh, just kill him, or this is honorable duel type thing. Oh, wait, you said you were like choking him out, right?
Yeah, like I have him up like this. You will know if you leave Chromosite to his own devices, he will brutally murder this person for their behavior. And if that's not something we want, you might want to intervene.
You know what? Since you got him like locked in, and he seems to be, you said he had weak legs, booster oriented. I'm gonna see if there's any exposed boosters. I'm just gonna start poking him with my lightsaber. He ain't. I'm just gonna say I don't think that they're chasing that shuttle. Who knows? Maybe it'll leave without you, but I think it might not leave without you. And I'm gonna start poking at the boosters, making sure he can't leave this planet.
All right. Give me a lasers roll.
Ooh, famously terrible at this. Let's see here. It's a 6. I'm rolling very high tonight, but I think that's a failure.
All
For
right.
lasers, I have to roll
All right.
below.
So you are all right. So you and Chromosite are trying to tag team this guy, and you're not quite able to. He's still wiggling, like using the booster to try and boost out of Chromosite's grip, and he does separate. He separates from Chromosite, but is not quite able to get away yet. That's gonna. So we're gonna move over to Chromosite. So Dupree has separated, and like you can see, he's like 2-on-1. This is not good, and he wants to get out of there. So what's your play?
All right. So here's the thing. He's got something he can do, but if he does it, he's pretty like his kaiju. His mech suit needs like 10 minutes to cool down from this. It's you know how like when grandmas like lift up cars because they just have this adrenaline pumping in them. He's got like a super adrenaline mode, but then it deeply deep like he's like, all right, I'm out of the picture for the next 10 minutes. Sorry about that, but he essentially just goes into this furious like mode and just beats down whatever's in front of him, like just dismantles, limb ripped apart. So I think he's gonna Quirk. I think it's time for Mega Gorilla mode. All right.
Not Mega Gorilla mode. That puts you out of action for at least 10 minutes.
Mega Gorilla mode. We gotta get him down. I don't think they'll leave without him either, and we can't have him jumping around. All right.
Amazing. All right, I'm gonna give you. All right, this is gonna be. I like how you said like this is a special mode of your mech. So we're gonna say, does lasers feel right for this?
Lasers feels very good for this.
All right. Go ahead and take a prepared die for that. I like that
Okay.
setup you gave.
That
Oh, no.
I got a 5 and a 1. The 5 was almost a 6. Like it was rolling and it kept going. So I got 2 successes and one of them's a laser feelings.
All right. All right. You you are able to smash down on Dupree. You successfully pummel his mech, take out his jetpack, his boosters. Dupree's going nowhere.
I
And
think the whole time this is happening has like obviously built in a voice box to sound like an enraged silverback gorilla, and it's just screaming. And I don't know if Dupree's like thing has like a part you can rip the like part off so you can see inside, but it rips it off and it's just in the face before it like powers down.
amazing. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
so
Yeah,
rad.
you rip the canopy off. Dupree is like concealed within the chest of this mech, and he is like cowering, like, oh my god. And is does Chromosite? He doesn't. Chromosite isn't trying to. They're not trying to kill Dupree, are they?
I think here's the thing. If
An oop-de-doodle might happen.
if Quirk was not here, like I think he's not ashamed of when he's killed people in the line of this work, because all's fair in love and war and cattle wrangling at this point. But he does temper himself.
A murder and animal husbandry.
He does temper himself when his companions are around. So there was definitely murderous intent when it was just him, but now that there are 2 others, he has restrained himself. So he's not trying to kill Dupree at this point. But there's very clearly a look in this next eyes. If it could have feelings that if we were alone, you would be dead brutally right now.
Got it. And Jerry off to the side near Kirk, looking quite rattled at the display of mech aggression that he just saw. And I forgot, you also have a laser feelings. Was there
do.
any insight that you were looking to get?
Anybody got a question? Because I don't know if there's any insight that I'm not. I don't.
I have a thought, Mama.
Oh, Kirk, if you want to go.
Oh no, I was just going. I don't know. So if you got one,
Oh,
go for it.
I have a question. What would it take to get him to stand down? It's like my question.
Okay. So do I think that the things that I've done at this point, and the fact that there are 2 others that still very much have their mech suit while his is destroyed and mine is out of commission, is enough? Or is there something else to really get him to tell his people to stop what they're doing and give us back the Cap?
I see. You can tell that this guy is, I mean, he follows the money. He's like, I mean, he willingly accepted a job abducting these creatures that are critical to the ecosystem of this spatial region, right? This guy is worried about his bag. He he's looking to get paid and live good, right? So and you have him in a compromising position right now. So that would be your leverage.
Okay.
He wants to succeed in his task, right?
So then can I say, so listen, and I can't, like, my guy can't fight, but it can still speak through it, right?
Sure.
So listen, You could die here, and right now, either by me getting out of my suit that clearly needs a little bit of a break and finishing you with my bare hands, by my companion Quirk finishing you with that lightsaber, or by your former minion, Jerry, I think it was, that you left to die. I could imagine your former employee has some feelings to work out on you, right? That's the first option. The second option, we do terrible things to you and force you to give us all your information about all of your money. So anything you might have made before now, useless to you.
First
Third
suit,
option. Third option, you call off your fucking goons, tell them to put back these kaiju, and you get to leave and keep your money and all your body parts.
VJ, is this lasers or feelings?
This is feelings. This is very much feelings. Oh no, okay. I need a different die. I wish I had a big fuck off D6.
Yeah, I think this is feelings.
There
and
are 5
I,
essentially to succeed.
and I don't necessarily see how this is related to your specific role, nor do I see how you would be necessarily prepared for this, right?
No, I agree. This is just a straight.
So 1d6, and your number's a 5, right?
I gotta roll a 6.
5
5.
or a 6.
5 or 6 to succeed.
To help
Okay.
out, possibly, could I be standing by, very intimidating, with like the lightsaber? I don't even like nudge Jerry to get like his gun out. Could I maybe help? Could I zhuzh and give an extra D6 that way?
Take an extra d6 for this feelings roll.
Teamwork.
Okay. I got a 1 and I got a 6. So I got 1 failure and 1 success. What happens?
Okay. All right. So 1 success, it happens, but there's a cost. Okay. Dupree looks up at you. He's shattered, not physically. He's just like emotionally done, and he goes, "Nah, you're right. You got me beat. All right, I'll my comm system is pretty messed up here, but old Jerry over there um can radio in. This is not worth what y'all are doing to me right now, so we're gonna give that a shot. Jerry, call it off.
No,
You look,
I got it. Jerry, call it off.
and you look over at Jerry, who looks down at Dupree. And he looks back, and like from here, you're in the plains area, so you can see where the shuttle is now. You're out in the open. You can see Dane hustling, like making his way over. Deacon following, not too far behind. And Dane says, goes on the comms. You can kind of hear the scattered low frequency chatter you can pick up on their radio comms. Jerry goes, "Hey guys, the boss is compromised. Come pick me up."
Damn it.
And he turns around and tries to get away, and is going to start booking it.
I'm just gonna take that lightsaber. I'm just gonna throw it at the back of his head.
All right. Let's go ahead and resolve that. So Kirk, this is going to be lasers.
Oh, it's gonna be lasers. I'm famously bad at lasers. Oh, it's a 2, which is my exact number.
Wow, there you go. All right, so you get a success. Yeah, you take out Jerry. Jerry's done. He's knocked out of the game. Dead, alive? Yeah, who's to say? We'll find out later.
We'll say dead.
Dead.
He's a betrayer. He's a double betrayer.
Right. The cost is, you see that the shuttle is beginning to lift off, and seems like Well, you know what? No, because I got to think about this because Chromocyte did succeed in getting Dupree to back down. Um,
Might I suggest
yeah, give it to me. Let me hear it.
Jerry gets fucked up, but his
Uh-huh.
his comm system isn't messed up, so maybe we can just bring Dupree over to speak. Jerry's fucked.
I just yank out the control cockpit of Jerry's, and I just place it right next to Dupree, and then I take my lightsaber out and kind of just have it hovering a couple of feet
Okay.
above.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's good. All right. We're gonna come back to that in a second. So Dupree is willing. You see Dupree is willing to talk to the shuttle, but we have to get there first, right? We have to get to Jerry's comms first, right? And manipulate that. We're gonna jump over, but in the meantime, Dane and Deacon, you see that the shuttle is beginning to lift off. It might be that they, are, with their sensors, their comms, seeing the situation, they might be just cutting and running. So Dane and Deacon, what do you want to do?
Okay. All right, Deacon. Exactly how we rehearsed in the rehearsal dinner, of course.
Absolutely.
You know the plan.
I know exactly what you mean.
All right, so I have the runner in again one of my missile things. It comes out and it's essentially going to be a lasso to lasso around the escaping shuttle.
Oh my god. Incredible. Um, so all right, I want to hear Deacon. So this you see what Dane's trying to do. What are
Yeah.
you trying to do at the same time? I want to hear how this goes together.
So much like at this is the coordinated move that we practiced.
Of course.
Much like at a rodeo, of which this is not Deacon's first, literally. Um, I think Deacon's suit, Deacon's mech, old Bass, has its own alt, which is those back of the leg boosters from earlier. They just overclock, and Deacon shoots forward, and how you and when at the rodeo when you take down a steer, he's gonna grab part of the shuttle and try and wrestle it and leverage it with the lasso to bring it back down to the ground.
Oh, that's sick. That's awesome. Um, I think this might be lasers, or this might be lasers for Dane and feelings for Deacon. And
Two or
this can. I'm gonna let you both have a die for being related to your role. Deacon a little more obvious, but Dane, your sole focus is getting these cattle back, getting these kaiju back for this ceremony, for this wedding. So I'm gonna give that to you. So you both get an extra d6.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, also we did say we rehearsed this.
And you're both prepared. 3d6, baby. Let's rock it out.
36. Okay. Well, I do need 3 versions. Okay, this has got to be it. A 1.
So I have to roll above my number, right?
Feelings.
For feelings.
Feelings is above.
Okay, good. 2 successes.
All
I got
right.
1 success.
Amazing. All right. So, yeah, Dane, you're able to get your this. I mean, it's like a metal cable wound rope made of steel wire or some nonsense. And it
In
gets
velvet though. It's wrapped in velvet.
it's wrapped in velvet. Yeah, so you launch it around one of the maneuvering thrusters, and it locks on tight. And then that gives Deacon the opportunity to overclock his boosters and ride that shuttle like a raging bull down to the ground. Um, but you are it's not over just yet because this shuttle's still trying to rocket boost out. So while you're trying to hold it still before this thing breaks loose of you, Chromocyte and Kirk, what are you doing to help close this thing?
Well, Chromosite has gotten out of the mech at this point and is like climbed down and it's just walking over, hands, cracking knuckles, getting over to where this swarmy motherfucker is, and just kind of standing there looking menacing and just waiting with murder in his eyes, waiting for any wrong step to just end this entire situation.
Over to Jerry or Dupree?
Dupree.
Got
I can't do much about Jerry at this point. If he's
Okay.
still in his mech suit, I'm just a little guy.
All right. Okay. That'll come into play. So what's Kirk doing?
Kirk, I don't know if this was already said, but I'm gonna rip out because we were trying to get Dupree over to the working comms of Jerry. I'm either rip off like the top half of Jerry's mech and place it next to his like fouled mech, or like take just drag it over or something. And then like after I see Chromocyte like taking a mean pose, I'll like kind of like try to mimic the pose in my mech behind them. Just kind of like,
Oh my god. All right. So what I actually want Kirk to make a lasers roll
no.
because you're trying to the whole point is this comm tech, right? We're trying to get Dupree and and Jerry's comms together, right? So we got to make sure that is what functions. So you're gonna do so we're doing a lasers roll. You can have a D6 help from Chromocyte being there with you, and I would say, do you think this is related to your role?
It's actually maybe I'm like the music tech of the group. Like, I do comms. I'm
True.
always playing music over the comms.
There you
See if,
go. I like it. Take
we'll see
another
if this
D6 for
three.
that.
Let's see if this 3 helps. It's a 6, a 5, and a 4. 3 failures.
3 failures. All
Oh, no.
right.
Damn.
Oofta.
You hate to see it.
So unfortunately, the comms are the comm system is shot to hell, and Dupree's like, no, you guys, you got to shut it down. Get him back. Get him back. So Dupree is clearly he's calling it quits. He wants this thing over. This shuttle is trying to depart with these kaiju being held down by Dane and Deacon. So they're gonna do one last blast of the like afterburners to try and break free. I want we're all gonna chat how what is the final teamwork move to try and bring the shuttle down and free these kaiju. We're gonna go one by one. I'm gonna start with Deacon.
I think Deacon is going to with that thermal missile that he had armed. I think he's gonna try and take out one of like the thrusters to keep this shuttle from being able to like at the very least leave orbit. This thing might still be able to get away from them, but he wants to at least make sure it can't leave the planet.
Nice. Okay. Don't no one make any rolls yet. Deacon, this is going to be lasers. You get a D6 for your job and an extra D6 for being prepared. So
You got
3D6. Dane, what are you doing to try and end this?
I'm feeling in the best I can, getting an easier target for Deacon.
Gotcha. All right. What do we think? Is it?
I think
Logan,
that's just straight lasers.
You think that's lasers? All right, that's gonna be lasers for you. That's gonna be just a straight D6 for you.
Yeah, so I have to get a 2 or a 1.
Okay. Chromocyte, what are you doing in this moment to help try and finish this?
I think okay. What Chromosite is going to do is grab up Dietrich. You're coming with me. Come on, fucking climb. And they're gonna climb back up into the silverback gorilla, and he's gonna try, and this is just gonna be like, what's the frequency you communicate with your fuckers on? We're gonna try and get it working like this.
All right. Yeah, that's gonna be lasers. And you can have an extra D6 because you got Dupree to help you. And then Kirk, what are you trying to do? And just as a reminder, you do also have Hank in y'all's shuttle in the nearby vicinity.
I will do what every last ditch effort scene in a movie is about, and I'm going to put on a soundtrack over the PA. I'm going to choose a Waylon Jennings song called I think it's "Don't You Think This Outlaw Bit's gone out of hand." So as an actual song and I'm going to start playing that. I'm like, all right, y'all, we got to get this together here. We got to get going.
Okay. Amazing. That's gonna be feelings. That's gonna be that. I'd say that sounds like that's part of your job. That sounds fun. All right, so 2d6 for feelings. All right, everybody, give me your rolls, and we're gonna see how everybody does.
As I'm just like, you're throwing. You're...
Could I make a case that Dane is prepared for the inevitability of having to reel in a kaiju?
Yeah.
Fuck.
A wayward groomsman.
Yeah, getting cold feet.
Wayward
Yeah.
groomsman.
I love it. I like it. Take it. Take an extra d6.
Yeah. My first roll was a 2, so that's laser feelings. That's success, and my second roll was a 5. So.
All right. All right.
All right, I got a 4 and a 5, which I believe succeeds on both counts.
Do we have a
I
laser
also
feeling?
got a
2 successes. Go ahead, BJ.
I also got a 4 and a 5 for lasers. So laser feelings and a success.
I actually forgot if I'm rolling lasers or feelings.
I think we said lasers for you.
Okay,
You're using your missile.
2 successes then.
2 successes. Plenty. We go into bullet time mode. We see a thermal guided missile taking out a thruster. The shuttle crashes one side into the ground. Dane with this cable lasso just twists down and yanks the other side smash into the ground. You've got Chromocyte working with Dupree to hack into your own comms, and Dupree calls in and has them call him off, and the engine shut down. And as the sound of the struggle recedes, we hear Waylon Jennings blaring over the scene as Kaiju come rumbling out of the shuttle, home free and back with the bridal party. And we transition to a fade out of the herd taking off, taking flight and moving up and out of the planet's atmosphere, sort of inflating as they take on their vacuum of space form. And we see our mech cowfolk bordering the herd, flying off into the big black yonder, and Hank flying the big shuttle, bringing up the rear with a gigantic "Just Married" banner on the back. And that is where we will end this game.
Awesome.
Woo!
This
We
is a
won.
lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, that was insane. All
Gotta
right,
have a good needle.
thank you everybody for watching. Whoever stuck around and whoever hang out, thank you. I think we managed. We didn't quite get to 100. We made $65 going off to the entertainment community fund. which I'm happy about. That was a lot of fun. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna fade us out here. Good night.
Bye.